it's easier to do 100 days straight of something than it is to get up each day and motivate yourself to do something. You need to make the choice every day. You're done. You're going to be relying on motivation every day, and we all know that some days you're tired, some days you're not feeling it. One day you've had a breakup, whatever it is. If you make the one choice over 100 days, you don't need to make the choice again. 100 days straight. If you think you lack motivation, it's probably something completely different. And you probably don't need more motivation. You need something else, the opposite of motivation. You probably think you need more motivation, so you're stacking motivation playlists in the gym. And on January the 1st, you might be running into the gym with these playlists. And by the time January the 15th comes around, you're burnt out. And you think that, how do these other people do it? How do people just keep on going and going and going with motivation? I've been giving myself 100-day plans. So I ran 5K per day straight for 100 days. So every single morning, I would just get up and run a 5K. So it doesn't matter what your goal is, if it's to do with sewing or whether it's to do with badminton, tennis, whatever it is. For me, I ran one 5K a day for 100 days straight, far easier than if I'd motivated myself to get up and do a 5K every single day. What I did need motivation for was just the first 1 or 2 days. I needed the motivation to write the plan and get in the first 1 or 2 days. Then as humans, we are pretty habit driven. So it's much easier to maintain the momentum of a habit than it is to keep choosing every single day. I mean, as a sports player, running 5K for me is relatively, it's just, I can run a 5K easily. So doing that 100 days straight, the problem isn't actually doing it physically. The problem is the motivation every day on the rainy days and the wet days, whatever. So the reason that I say that 100 days straight is much easier than choosing every day and getting motivation and putting on your motivated playlists is because once you've put it to the subconscious and you've just made the choice, you don't need to think about it. Whereas all this motivation comes when we have to make the choice every day and think about it. The amount of choice, you wake up in the morning, I've got to go and do my run, I've got to do weights and press-ups and whatever it is. If you try and choose that every single morning, it takes a toll on your decision-making, on energy and whatever. Imagine this. You need to make the choice anyway. How about you make one choice for 100 days rather than 100 choices for each day? Just make one choice. And it's done. The things that I didn't do as well as I wanted to, and it was because I kept having to motivate myself. Whereas the other things that I did just consistently over and over again were the ones that I did hugely well in. But those ones felt effortless in terms of the choice I was making, but from the outside it looks like I'm doing a huge amount of work, but it didn't feel like that. I remember when I was young, my dad used to help us make these 3-month plans. So mentally I had this, rather than thinking in short term. The other reason why people burn out, and I know myself, is if I'm thinking in the short term, say I'm doing 5K, I go, oh, one day my 5K is much slower. I do, 26 minutes. And I go, oh, it's really slow today because I think I have to be on my 21 minutes every single day. Is if I'm thinking in the short term, then it seems like a failure. But if you're looking at your 3-month or 100-day plan for a goal, then the short term doesn't matter. These ins and outs, the daily events, actually have no meaning. It's whether you repeat something over time. So all the best in the world are people who seem to effortlessly repeat this training pattern. And so people look at them from the outside and go, oh, they've just got superhuman motivation. So they've somehow can blast through the things that I'm doing. And I'm getting burnt out while they're not. And that just means that they've got this magical thing called motivation. But they haven't actually. The 1% know that creating habits and long-term habits is actually far easier in terms of motivation than it is just getting up each day and choosing. To round off, if you're struggling with motivation, if you think that you need motivation every single day, then no one has that every single day. But what you do is habits every single day, like breathing and eating. So if you make your goals, your biggest goals, and put it into a daily action that you choose once for 100 days, that's going to be much easier and you won't need any motivation.